The subject of Viktor Grebennikov's story has been raised many times across the internet, although in majority cases people seem rather to dismiss the information or simply narrating the story. I wouldn't simply dismiss or confirm the facts on the subject, but would rather make people think about it critically, remaining with open mind at the same time. First of all, the person was fascinated with the insects from the very childhood, conducting any kind of research he could possibly make. He continued his research until the very days he passed away. He was also a brilliant artist, creating fascinating paintings of insects performing it using a microscope. Grebennikov was a brilliant inventor. He created glassless microscope too. According to Grebennikov, after discovering the CSE, or the cavernous structure effect, the nature started to unveil other of its secrets. So in late 80s, he was struck with a phenomenon related to possible anti-gravity discovered in some insect species. He wouldn't speculate on what kind of species he used and whether there were upper wing shells involved, but the major thing is that we should consider the fact was replicated from the nature. There was no massacre of thousands of insects and application of their body parts glued to the bottom. If some folks think so, that's fine too. Well, the official scientists would dismiss the information, and that is fine for certain reasons, but the fact of the matter is that they are pretty much screwed up with the current parasitic technologies, and as a consequence with those who control them. The case of control was never disregarded by the folks in power. The fact of the energy crisis emerging was not as well. Professor Grebennikov was fascinated with nature, and it in response could have possibly provided him with gifts that are so in demand and futuristic for the majority, but appears as a threat to those in power. There's also a possible indication that the real flight actually took place in the way Grebennikov describes his flight and anomalies associated with it. In one instance, he talks that it wasn't felt as an actual levitation, but as if standing on some solid platform, as if it was on the ground. Another interesting claim associated with it is that there were apparent time changes on his wristwatch, but eventually came to normal after landing. Visual distortions, while in operation when horizons seem to turn upwards, opposite to high altitude Earth curvature. It also appeared that from the ground level he was visible only from certain angles. What's interesting about his story is that there are much correlation with so-called alleged UFO encounters. People claim to have similar experiences. And if there is similar information from different sources, maybe there's something to it, and the modern days jetpacks or drones would look like an air balloons and steam trains.